Hello everybody and welcome to my first video ever on my new channel on YouTube called Leo Jaws, that's me, and Iron Lady Vita, which is my beautiful, loving wife. Okay, this channel will be all about what we do, all about our lives, the things that we love to do, which is basically doing extraordinary things, and our speciality is hanging by the teeth. So for today we have the mouthpiece here, the weights down there. We need to hang by the teeth and the weight needs to go up. Yeah, I'm preparing a new Guinness World Record at the moment. It's not much I can tell you about that, but right now I'm still training, so I'm using different techniques of getting my whole body basically into shape for doing the right thing at the right moment. Because many times, you know, you're really strong in the gym, but you're not strong in the day of the event. So at this moment, basically the event will take place in about 2 weeks from now, and I'm really careful about how I'm doing the training because I don't want to overtrain and I don't want to burn out my central nervous system before that. So I'm really trying to find the right balance. I don't know if what I'm doing now is the right thing. We will find out in about 2 weeks when I will do the record attempt. Okay? So right now I feel great, and let's do the warm-up. You know, in everything that I do, I have this focus that I'm trying to concentrate all my strength, all my power, all my life into that short burst of energy. And it's my philosophy for everything in my life, and I call it one shot. You know, whatever you do in life, you need to focus and you need to prepare everything in every single detail, that when you need to do it for real, you only have one shot. You'll never get like a second chance. So you might as well do it good from the very first time. And I apply that also when it comes to training. I usually start the warm-up. You know, many people, they start the warm-up really light with the weights, and they work themselves up to the bigger weights. Well, I start straight with a bigger weight that it's still in my comfort zone, and I work myself up. Not as much as other people, but I go higher than the first warm-up set. Of course, the difference between the warm-up and the maximum set will not be as spectacular as other people, but when you consider the weight of the first set, then you will understand. Okay, so right now I'm going to be hanging by the teeth, and I will be lifting from the ground another 80 kilos. So right now I'm somewhere about, my body weight, it's at 87 kilos, which is like a medium weight for me. I've been about 92 kilos. I felt like a beast at that moment. I've been lighter also. Okay, I was really cut. The body looked great at that moment, but I wasn't as strong. But now, you know, considering that I'm working on getting strong and looking good when I go on stage, because we are stage performers. We perform the perch pole act, which, by the way, you'll find out what those are also on my channel. So make sure to check it out, subscribe, and check out the videos which I will upload very, very soon. Okay, so let's warm up. Yeah, that felt good. Whew. Yeah, they're all mine. That felt really good. I'm the maximum I have ever done a warm-up set with for this particular exercise is 85 kilos. I think another 5 kilos than what I've done now. I'm going to take a small break now, and I will put up another 20 kilos. I will try to do the 100 kilos today, because the whole thing here, because I held many times, you know, putting the belt on and then hanging a lot of weights to the chain. So I've done bigger weights than this. But the thing for this particular exercise is that you need to start with only your body. I wanted to say start with nothing, but it's definitely not nothing, because it's almost half the weight of the maximum weight that you will be holding is already on your jaws. The only thing is that nobody is going to count your body weight. They only count how much the weight measures. And the thing goes like this. You need to lift it up from the ground for a minimum of 10 centimeters off the ground. It needs to be. And you need to hold it there for at least 10 seconds. So during those 10 seconds, you're not allowed to go under the 10 centimeter mark. If you do that, it's all over. Okay? So there are a lot of people involved in this record attempt, because you need to have 2 timekeepers that will take care of all that, at least 10 seconds, right? We're going to have people that make sure I'm not touching anything around me that can basically help me, aid me in the lift. I need to be from the ground to my feet at least 30 centimeters. As you can see, the way I'm doing it is that I'm bending my knees towards the back. I'm arching my back in order to contract all these muscles on the spine, because you need to be really tense here when you do it, because you know the feeling that you have when you lift the weight off the ground is like, you know, you're lifting, you feel like your whole face is going to detach from your skull, right? And every single time there is this thing that goes through our mind, okay, if I'm going to pull anymore, what will happen? Will I lift eventually the weight off the ground, or will I break my jaw? Okay, yeah. And this really makes it very difficult because you need to constantly fight your consciousness that tells you, don't do it because it's dangerous, don't do it, you're going to harm yourself. And then there's this other part of you that knows that going through this period of pain, going through all of this muscle tension, you will eventually do it. Okay? So when you do that, you will eventually, at some moment, you're just pulling and you're pulling harder and harder and nothing happens. The weight is still on the ground, but you can feel the tension of the weight in your jaws and in your teeth and in your neck and everywhere basically. So, and when you give that extra 1 gram that you lift, then the weight detaches from the ground. And that's the moment when you don't need to stop. You need to keep on pulling up because you need to be somewhere here. Because if you don't lock it there, at least there, it's all over. So I'm going to put on the weights now. And we're going to see what's going to happen later. So that's basically 90. And we've got, I have a lot of weights, but most of them are downstairs. I don't bring them up here because I'm going to demolish the penthouse one day, with all these weights. But, at the end of the day, either you lift feathers or you lift weights, is the same thing. It's just the volume that is different. So I'm having a lot of this 1.25 kilo weights. They're good to put around your neck, to look fancy, but I still use them because they're good. They're good. So we've got 10 kilos here, another 10 kilos here. Yeah, we've got the 100. My only concern is, will this hold? Because it's already bended, Alright, I'm going to give a shout to my beautiful wife, Vita, because she needs to come up here and she'll be measuring and counting for me just to make sure that I'm at the right distance. So... Wow, look at that, that's Skeletor. Skeletor fell off my shelf. Masters of the Universe, so I can take that as an omen. Like, Skeletor is the bringer of death, so I'm going to harm myself. Or Skeletor fell down and He-Man is still up there, meaning I will prevail. Alright, by the way guys, make sure to check out my other channel, The Review Guy, where it's all about me and my hobby, collecting all these 80s pop culture phenomenons, and I'm reviewing all sorts of action figures, comic books, graphic novels, video games, great movies that we've all learned, come to love. So yeah, make sure I know you will love it, right? It's basically my other half. One is this, what I'm doing right now, lifting stuff off the ground, and the other one is all of this Transformers, action figures, G.I. Joes, Star Wars, of course, and stuff like that. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to give a very delicate shout to my wife, so she comes up here. Vicky, love of my life! Hello? Vicky, poți să vii să mă ajuți, te rog? Că filmez. All right, guys, she is coming up. There's no turning back. This is the ruler, you know. She'll make sure they're at least 10 centimeters off the ground. Okay. Please say hello.
Hello.
Great. I told them all about our new channel, you know, which will be all about performing, lifting stuff off the ground. She'll be giving you tips about how to look good. Show them your biceps. I mean, look at that. Get closer. Look at that. Wow. Wow. I mean, make sure to check out these other videos where Vita will be showing her training routine and her dieting and all of this other stuff. Okay, but now it's all about that thing getting off the ground. Okay. Ta-da. Okay. Hold this, please. What did I just put in? Finally. Ok. Tragi scaunul și după aia vii aici și te uiți, ok?
Unu, doi, trei, patru, cinci, șase, șapte, opt, nouă, 10.
Woo! Okay, come down over here.
15, 16, 15.
Was it 15? Wow, guys, I'm still on the green. Come here, I mean, people want to see you. They want to see the beautiful wife. You know, I was afraid. No, really, I was afraid. You know, when you're nervous, you get all this, like, slime inside your neck. You can't breathe properly. And before I took the mouthpiece and bite on it, I was feeling, because of all the tension inside my body, I was feeling like I want to vomit, really. Whew. All right, so it's 15. It wasn't a long pull like in the first one, but it's still 15, and it's more than 10.
17 and go slowly to 15.
Okay, so the first, I initially started pulling it all the way up here, and then when I started to get tired, and I was like, I was trembling, I was going slowly down to 15, but it's still over 10, so it's okay. Okay, and I don't know how it is, but for me, you know, those 10 seconds that she's counting, it's like she's making fun of me. You know, it's like taking forever and on and on and on. Next time, we're going to try it with the stopwatch, okay? And just to make sure, you know, because the big thing is, I don't want to go there in front of all these people and make a fool of myself, right? So I want to know that I'm able to do it, because it's another surprise. The day of the event, they are going to use officially calibrated scales and officially calibrated weights. So the thing is, you know, these are bought from normal shops, right? And they can be a little bit lighter or a little bit heavier. You'll never know unless And I don't have the right money to go and weigh all this stuff. So I'm only in the day of the event, then I'm going to do it with the right weights and everything. So I can have a surprise that I'll need to pull a little bit more, or I'll have the beautiful surprise of pulling a little bit less. So, you know, that's the magic of trying something nobody has ever attempted before, that it's going to be a surprise, even for you. Nonetheless, you know, for the people that are going to watch it, it's going to be a big surprise. Well, of course, it can be a surprise that I don't pull. You know, you'll never know, because when you go to these extremes, holding so much weight, you can have a bad day. Everybody has a bad day. And this is like a real event where you go. A lot of people, you know, they do deadlifts with I don't know how many kilos. And then they come in for the competition and they don't pull. Or you can have that adrenaline rush where you know this is how, when it counts. And many people have had that. You know, for example, you know, the great Eddie Hall pulling the half-ton deadlift, right? He never pulled the half-ton in the training, but he did it in front of all the crowd. Okay, so fingers crossed, everybody, and I'll keep you updated about everything. Take care, and remember, one shot.